Ready to get the fit body of your dreams? Welcome to the FITBODY Podcast. I'm Julie Laurie, an IFBB fitness pro, certified personal trainer, and nutrition coach. Back in 2004, I created one of the world's first online personal training programs and have helped thousands of women transform their bodies and their lives online ever since. I've been featured in fitness magazines worldwide and even competed on American Ninja Warrior. But my passion is helping women love both how they look and how they feel through balanced workouts and healthy eating. Welcome back. Today, I am really excited to talk to you about the one habit that you can do right now to improve your diet. If you have been considering ways to eat healthier, to lose weight, to gain a bit of muscle, it can feel really overwhelming and daunting. Changing how and what we eat, it can feel hard. Really hard. But you know what? Improving your diet doesn't have to be impossible, especially if we can focus on small tweaks that bring big change. Okay, well, starting a new habit, it can feel really challenging because a lot of times we're just not very realistic about our goals. Things like, I'm never going to eat a carb again, or I am only going to eat vegetables all day and that's it. Those things, it's nice to want to control our diets. It's nice to want to do better with them. But when you have these big lofty expectations, I'm never going to have a chocolate chip cookie ever again the rest of my life, those are just not realistic. I want you instead to focus on one or two new mini goals that both feel meaningful and they're something that is actually doable. Dietary habit changes, they have to be realistic. And if you set something that is too big, it's really just going to make you feel overwhelmed and you're not going to stick with it. So instead, I look for ways to find balance. One of my favorite things to do if you're trying to make dietary changes and you really want that one thing that you can do right now, we're actually going to add food to your diet. What we're going to do is start filling your plate with more plant-based foods. Okay, so the average American diet is notably lacking in fiber. A single habit of adding more plant-based foods to your diet will increase your fiber, help you feel fuller longer, and absolutely help you lose weight. So let's talk more about why plants are so important to us. So it's all about the fiber. So fiber is the non-digestible part of the carbohydrate, and it's present highly in foods that come from plants. So fruits, vegetables, seeds, legumes, whole grains like quinoa or oats. Those things are all high in fiber. While most Americans are recommended to get 25 to 35 grams of dietary fiber from whole foods each day, 90% of women and 97% of men actually don't end up eating enough fiber to reach those goals. So why is fiber important for us? Fiber, it's found in the plant foods. It can improve your gut health, your regularity, lowers cholesterol, helps you manage your blood sugar. It even can decrease our risk of certain types of cancers and reduce inflammation, which is huge. Adding more plant-based foods to meals actually coincides with us eating less animal-based or ultra-processed foods. So that's just part of the yin and the yang, the give and the take. If you're eating more healthy plant foods, eating more vegetables, more fruits, you are going to conversely be eating less processed animal-based foods. So not that I have any kind of problem with including chicken, fish, beef, animal-based proteins in our diet. But what I would love to do is start skewing your plate so that you're heavily loading the plate with more vegetables and that are lower in calories, less dense foods, and taking down the portion size on some of those other foods that are more calorie dense. So at the end of the day, you come out a bit lower in calories, even though the quantity of food that you've eaten is higher. So what's the big deal with plants? All right, let's start with the first one. Plants definitely support gut health. The kind of fiber found in plants promotes bowel regularity, and it feeds those good microbes in your system. So phytochemicals, which are chemical compounds produced by plants, also support beneficial bacteria, and they inhibit harmful pathogens in the gut. For optimal gut health, it's important that we include a wide variety of plant foods in our diet. Think of all those microbes in your gut as an ecosystem that thrives off biodiversity. Different bacteria require unique types of plant compounds to thrive, which is why dietary variety is essential. One of the things I encourage my clients to do is not eat the same thing every day, but instead to include lots of different kinds of foods in their diet. So healthy foods, yes, but mixing them up for this very reason as well. Indeed, research suggests that people who eat at least 30 different types of plant foods each week have significantly more diversity in the makeup of their gut microbiome compared to those who eat fewer than 10 plant foods each week. So check out the study in my show notes here. My next point is that plant-based foods are heart healthy. Not only are plants rich in vitamins and minerals like potassium that can help lower your blood pressure, but plant-based foods are also very low in saturated fat, which is one of the main contributors to high cholesterol and plaque that builds up in your arteries. Adding in those high-fiber plant-based foods like raspberries, oatmeal, and beans also supports a healthy heart by keeping your LDL cholesterol lower in your blood. My third reason why adding in plant-based foods to your diet is such a good idea is that they keep your blood sugar levels in check. Plant-based foods definitely do contain carbohydrates, which have the tendency to spike up your blood sugar. However, it comes back to that secret ingredient of fiber. Consuming plant foods that have a positive effect on your blood sugar, it takes, instead of this sharp blood glucose spike that you might get when you eat straight up carbs, it turns it into a soft hump. It's going to level that out a little bit, and it's going to decrease that insulin spike up and down and decreases our cravings. So not only are the plant-based foods helping your blood sugar stay more consistent, it's helping you not feel as hungry because it is lowering those spikes. It's making this more of a hump and less up and downs. The reason this happens is because the fiber in the plant foods, it creates a sort of mesh in our GI tracts that helps slow down the uptake of sugar in our bloodstream. Okay, so hopefully I have convinced you that adding more plant-based foods to your diet is a good idea, and it's a really simple, easy trick, right? Okay, well, maybe. So how do we really start doing this? It takes time to build a habit. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I want you to be finding these habits that are easy to do, that are manageable, that don't feel crazy overwhelming. I want you to set yourself up for success, and let's break it down so it's an achievable goal. But I also want it to be definable. So instead of just saying, I want to eat better or I want to add more plant foods, how do we actually do that? Let's turn those around in some goals. For example, I would love to do things like make a goal of adding half a cup of vegetables to one meal every day this week. Super easy to do. All you have to do is just barely increase what you've been doing. If you can make it a little bit bigger, maybe you're doing an extra serving today, extra serving every day this week. I like to do things too. Instead of just having a salad, I'll have a bigger salad, or fill my plate up first with vegetables and make sure that at least half of the plate is taken up with vegetables or with plant-based foods. So set 1 or 2 achievable goals each week. Over time, you'll not only build on those small micro goals, but you'll also gain confidence in your ability to make a positive change. Remember, fruits and vegetables, while they're great, absolutely love them, they're not the only plant-based foods around. Upping your intake of nuts, seeds, legumes, whole grains, those are also going to put more plants into your diet rotation and increase that fiber. So here's a few ways that I personally add more plant-based foods, more fiber into my diet, and here's what I encourage my online training clients to do as well. Add vegetable noodles like spiralized zucchini instead of spaghetti. when you're trying to make a pasta dish. There are so many great plant-based pastas right now with chickpea, edamame noodles, zucchini. Those kind of things actually taste decently like pasta. They're very filling, but you're packing in extra vegetables. When you're looking at something like breakfast, if you're having oatmeal or yogurt, it's a great opportunity to throw in some berries, throw in some nuts. That automatically increases your fiber, and it's going to slow down the digestion of those foods. If you like to make protein shakes or smoothies, adding in a handful of leafy greens like baby spinach or frozen cauliflower rice to your smoothies can help you sneak in more vegetables into a place that you might not expect. So I make these awesome green smoothies with my Ultimate Muscle Protein, I put protein powder in it, ice, water, and then a cup of frozen spinach. I was shocked the first time I tried this because the shake comes out looking green, of course, but it tastes awesome and you really don't even notice. So especially if I'm using like my graham cracker or chocolate, so good, and you don't even know that you've packed in the extra spinach, but your body will. You can also do things like add in spices and fresh herbs, which are going to give your food a ton of flavor, a little bit more fiber. I mean, you're talking a little bit in this case because you're not adding quantities, but I don't want you eating boring foods in the first place. So if you can be adding in fresh spices, herbs, those kind of things are going to help keep your food interesting, and they're also going to add a bit more plants to your diet. And then one of my favorite things ever is avocado. And I have been a sucker for avocado lately. It's a perfect substitute for mayonnaise. So if you're trying to make a tuna salad, a chicken salad, instead adding in avocado is a great way to add a bit more fiber into your diet and actually some super healthy fats. So that's a great idea. Then my standby best way to add more plant-based foods into your diet, simple, quick, easy trick is to take frozen vegetables and use those in your stir fries, in your omelets, with pasta. Include those vegetables in your diet. Super easy, no reason not to add frozen vegetables. They still have a lot of their nutrients. They contain the fiber still. So those are great, easy, super easy ways to toss in more vegetables in your life. Thank you so much for joining me with this edition of the FITBODY Podcast. I look forward to connecting with you in the future. And if you have ideas for shows, reach out to me through email. It's julie@julielaurie.com. And make sure you check out my websites, julielaurie.com and fitbody.com. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me on the FITBODY Podcast. Looking forward to sharing more health and fitness information with you soon. Want more information about my online personal training for women or the world's best supplements in protein powder? Check out fitbody.com for more info.